time to do the right thing. So we're going to be here on this side of the street and on that side of the street. And then we plan with a group of shop steward workers to have an act of civil disobedience. And it's in the tradition of Dr. King and Cesar Chavez, nonviolent civil disobedience. So a section of our negotiating committee will be getting arrested here right out in the middle of Las Vegas Boulevard. And our goal here is to make sure that these companies understand 95% of the workers voted to authorize a strike. We've been patient. We've been bargaining for over 6 months. We're being patient, but our patience is at an end. So we want to get moving. We want to get a contract. We want to avoid a strike, but these workers are ready to strike if necessary. We hope not.
What is the message of why you're doing the civil disobedience? What do you think that's going to do?
Well, I think it's going to send a message that these workers are committed to make sure that they've got the ability to pay their rent, the ability to take care of their families, and the ability to have health care, the ability to have a decent retirement and job security. And when these companies are making incredible amounts of money, setting records for wage increase, for margins, for profits, for visitation, then when that happens, workers are going to have to do whatever it takes, up to including a strike. We're hoping we don't have to strike.
How did Monday end up?
Pardon me?
How did Monday end?
Monday, where there was movement with MGM Resorts. We're happy with the movement. It's not enough. If we can't move farther with MGM Resorts, then we'll end up authorizing a strike. But there was movement.
Hey, Ted, blocking off this strip, shut down the lanes, are you worried that's going to affect public support for you guys?
No, I think this grows public support. Look, this massive hotel complex in Las Vegas doesn't happen without the workers. And I think most people understand that. And I think that if workers show that they're willing to do whatever it takes, including nonviolent civil disobedience, willing to get arrested to fight for their contract and fight for their families, we think that's something that the public will support. And they have in the past.
Are you able to elaborate on where that movement was made with MGM on Monday?
Look, we've got 5 areas, and they're very important for us, and they're all strike issues. So with wages and benefits, the MGM Resorts made some significant movement on wages and benefit and economics. We're still apart, and if we don't get that figured out, we're going to have a strike issue just on economics.
Let's talk about F1. You mentioned to me last week that this strike deadline, you anticipate, if it does happen, to happen before that. Is that still the case here?
Well, I can tell you that our strike deadline is now. There's going to be multiple deadlines, multiple waves of strike deadlines. The first group is MGM Resorts, Caesars Entertainment, and Wynn Resorts. But there are 10 other independent companies on the strip that'll be next, and then downtown. So over the next 6 weeks to a couple of months, there will be multiple strike deadlines. For MGM, Caesars, and Wynn Resorts, that deadline is right now. So we've got bargaining with Caesars on Friday, Wynn on Monday. We're hoping there's more movement than we saw with MGM, and we could be calling a strike as soon as next week.
Is that movement not enough to, is that the movement that you saw, is that not enough to prevent a strike?
Well, here's the problem. Our members are really concerned about technology coming in and eliminating jobs. We haven't seen the movement we need on technology. We've got a massive explosion of non-union restaurants. This is one right here, Alexa and So Mon Ami Gobi over there. And where the union restaurants, they've been shrinking. Our workers need job security, and we're proposing language that if these workers decide to strike, our members have the right to support their picket line. It's all about our ability to sustain density and power as a union, and we haven't seen movement on that. Safety on the job. Customers are different. We haven't seen the movement on that. And then daily room cleaning. This issue, we got let down by the Democrats in the legislature on daily room cleaning. These women are fighting for that, and it's a strike issue. The ability to make sure that we work in our stations and have proper workload reduction, but that the work gets done full service in Las Vegas like it should be. So all of those things, they're not resolved. And we can make movement, but we've got to get to a good end zone, kind of a goal line here. And if we don't do that, there's going to be a strike.
During G2E, Bill Hornbuckle said it's never been a better time to work on the strip. Bill Hornbuckle said this. He said tips have never been higher. What is your response to Bill Hornbuckle saying it's never been a better time to make money on the strip?
30% of our workers work for tips, 70% do not. And the tip earners still need health care, they need job security, but the reality is the vast majority of our workers are really facing increases in rent, increases in gas prices, increases in food prices, and it's unsustainable. These companies are setting record profits, they're going to have to share the wealth.
What happens after these arrests? The workers that get arrested and they go in the vans, what happens next?
And you're one of them, right?
Yeah, I'm one of them. Look, we've been doing this for a while. We have respect for our police department. We work with the police department. So workers are taking an arrest, it'll go on their records, and then we will represent them in court. We believe it's non-violent civil disobedience. It's a moral issue when you decide to take an arrest in order to fight for your cause, and there's no better cause than what we're fighting for right now. So workers will be taken away, they will be processed and released, and then we will represent them in court.
What kind of effect do you think it's going to have if you do strike during or right before Formula One? Do you think that will backfire in terms of public support for you?
I think that every weekend in Las Vegas is the biggest weekend ever. It's a beautiful thing, and we support that, but when these companies are making incredible profits and setting record profit margins across the board, weekend in, weekend out, they've got to share the wealth. And it's not just happening in Las Vegas. We're in a time here where all over the country, workers are being squeezed by massive corporations that are making record profits. They're combining themselves, they're merging, and they're in control, and we're here to tell them, we're not going to stand for it, not in control. So the idea that somehow this is something in the water in Vegas, that's crazy. And it's happening all over, and it's our responsibility to lead. But I believe the public will support this, and if we're on strike, I think the public will decide not to come.
Thank you.
Okay? All right. Good? Okay. All right. What do you say about rumors on this is all staged? Oh, you should have asked me that on the record.
You want to do it?
Yeah.
What's that question?
About the rumors online that this is all staged. No, I want to answer that on the record.
All right. What do you say? You guys good? What do you say to this being staged? There's been circulating rumors that this is all staged.
Look, you're going to see more and more of that. That kind of stuff are rumors designed to go against the will of the workers. These are tools of the company, and the company will use every tool in the shed. These workers are out here because they're fighting for their families, for their health care, their pension, their wages. So we just dismiss all of that.